Blessed love and peace. This is a brief joint because it's not a confession. It's just it's a concern, but it's just actually just a proclamation or just a statement of actuality. The concern is the possibility of vibes with a deer. This is like, first of all, this is like the third night or the third day out of maybe the past 3 or 4 days of vibing with this deer. So that's that. In this particular spot. So I mean, obviously, there's logic. There's forest logic for this. But one, the vibes just dissipate when I put this digital thing on. But there's purpose for me sharing this actually, and it's actually not. This is actual. I mean, this is no bestiality type thing, but I'll explain what I'm saying. So first of all, the reason I say is because this is the third time, at least, maybe the fourth time in the past 3 or 4 days of seeing and being in the company of the doe, this young doe. Come on, what you getting all excited for? In the past 3 or 4 days, in this spot. So right there, you say, oh, come on now, you trying to see me now. So that's one thing. And that's a little bit of a stretch. The second joint is just already, even like off rip, how majestic deer are. We talked about horses with kinfolk yesterday. There's a different conversation offline. But just animals is beautiful. And being at peace with animals is beautiful. And I've said this before with kinfolk, deer are particularly majestic. When you think, first of all, the deer is weighing about as much as I am. And the elegance of walking and the power of just like walk, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, gallop. In a second, leaping. And the thing is, they ain't got no calves. We talk about that and go in the weight room when brethren hit the weights, hit the bench and everything else, and it's all swollen on the chest. But when they wear shorts, they got no muscle legs. How about that? No leg muscles. So when I was looking at the deer like a few weeks ago in a different situation, different spot, I noticed that I was looking at the deer, and the deer was like, it might have been actually a young buck, but the deer just looked at me straight, and I was like, yo, that deer kind of heavy in the chest area, the torso, the body element. And I'm like, that deer probably weighs as much as I do. And then I look at the legs, and I'm like, wait, hold up though. That deer ain't got no calf muscles. It might be thick in the thighs, but the thighs are all up in the body area. Like the whole body, the whole leg extensions. There's like no muscle for all that mass. Anyways, still walking elegant, majestic, skillful, night and day. So there's already vibes with deer, just because deer are awesome. And I do not eat deer, so that helps it. No venison for me, thank you. I don't eat red meat or what's that? I don't eat red, white, and blue. Red meat or white fish or that funky blue cheese. I like blue cheese though, but not just dairy. Anyways, that's a Prince song. Big up to Prince, blessed memory. But anyways, the deer are majestic and it's vibes. I vibe. There's a ladybug, a ladybug beetle earlier today. I vibe with. So that's not saying anything new. But then when seeing the same deer in the wild, I did not tame this. I have not fed this deer that I know of. I'm not calling out to that deer, whatever. So when experiencing the wild, the animals in the wild, and the animals and continue and returning additionally. Now, obviously, the deer got other things that the deer is doing right now. But when there's that repetition, then there is I talk about vibing with the flying squirrels by my spot. So, anyways, that's what I'm talking about, the vibe with the deer here. Now, at the same time, but when you recognize deer, that's a woman right there. That's a deer woman now. No bestiality, no pause. It's not like that. The big point that I'm making here is this. When there is that vibe, there is that feeling of peace with another being, with another physical being, another animal being, another sentient being, right there, that's favorable, to be honest, to the predatoriness of human beings. To be honest, that's just facts. It's a relief. It's not even just pleasant. It's just like peace. Um, and it's like to be honest, further honest conversation, serious, no pretenses, no hiding of whatever of agenda and game or whatever else. It's just honesty. I'm not feeding her. She's not here because I fed her. And so just like it's circumstances are so much so, and that's why people got dogs and cats and pets and everything else like that, and those are the best animals, and they're in people's wills and testaments and everything else like that, because they have now that a lot of that is just like trapped, forced relationship. So that's still predatory, but it's a reason why people do that, because they know everybody else is just so predatory and out to get them one way or the other. So that's the challenge. But when it's a wild animal, um, and peaceful, that's vibes. So, and it does get to that point of intimacy. Intimacy, I'm talking about just like shutting down the guards, shutting down the shields, and just being relaxed, and feeling the other being's energy and peacefulness. And additionally, and that's there. That's that. There's that type of bond between animal and man. You already know that. Don't lie. Don't lie. What's that song? What's that mean? Why are you lying so much? What is that? It's a remake of a 90s song or 80s song. But anyways, that's what I'm saying right now. So people tend to equate that intimacy and that vibe and company with sexuality. And I mean, everything is sexuality in society at this moment. However, again, anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. So the deer decides to stay in the recording. Now we see how the online kinfolk treat the deer, and see what happens from this point on, because there's always that vulnerability. Now the other thing also is then the fireflies. Come on, the fireflies are coming out. The fireflies come out at night. The fireflies come out at night. We're gonna leave it at that. Peace and blessings. All thanks and praise to the Most High.